Before we get going, I just want to acknowledge that OCIC operates in the territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. And as settlers and guests in this territory, we have benefited and enjoyed the privileges of the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. And we hope that with initiatives like the one you're about to listen about today, the Youth Policy-Makers Hub, we are able to honor the spirit of the Dish with One Spoon, which is about sharing the resources, sharing the land in more sustainable ways, and in a way that we can all benefit from the beautiful things that our natural resources give us, the water, the land, etc. Today, we're going to be talking about the Youth Policy-Makers Hub, which is a new program of OCIC. We're going to be talking about some of the activities that we have planned through this hub, the timeline and some of the requirements, the types of people we want to engage through this hub. And both, we're going to be talking about the youth policymakers piece of that and also the allies piece of that. And hopefully we're going to leave ample time after for your questions, and we can answer some of the concerns that you might have about the hub. So the first piece of the webinar might be a lot of me talking, so apologies for that in advance. Also, the webinar will be recorded and posted after this on the OCIC website, and some of the questions that you post today will be posted as a frequently asked questions piece as well. So I do encourage you to ask if there's anything that's not clear, if I forgot to say something that you've seen on the concept note or on the website, please just ask the question, because a lot of you probably are thinking the same things. And again, throughout the webinar, if you're thinking of things, questions come up, just feel free to put it in the comments and we'll monitor that during the Q&A. So for those of you that don't know OCIC or are new to the network, we are a network of over 100 organizations, institutions like universities and colleges, and people all working towards sustainable development in many different ways. So we're a good umbrella of sorts, or network net, as we like to say, for many organizations and many individuals that are working in this space. And we support the network through capacity building opportunities, through opening up multi-sectoral dialogue, and also through our public engagement and communications work to hopefully influence and inspire Canadians to get involved. So more information about the hub, and we've seen a lot of applications already, which is very exciting. So hopefully this seems exciting, and it seems like a good opportunity to get involved with OCIC and our network in international cooperation. So this is a new program for OCIC. We've been working with youth in many different ways through the years before this, and I've seen a lot of our past global change makers are on the call today, which is really exciting. Hello to you all. Our OCIC Global Change Maker Youth Ambassador Program was the previous version of this, but this period we're focusing on influencing policy making and advocacy efforts, as it is something that we've heard is a priority to the youth that we've worked with in the past and currently. So hopefully this can be a more tangible and concrete way in which we can be involved as young people to move our worlds and our institutions and the places where we work to more sustainable spaces. And so we've envisioned this hub as a diverse and dynamic space of both young people from 18 to 35, and also allies that will help to co-create the hub, help us with the focus, for example, and through learning exchange. For the youth on this hub. We're hoping to gather up to 15 youth in this year's hub, and a couple of allies, 8 to 10 perhaps, but pending the applications that we get. The program also runs for 12 months, and it's going to start this December 2019 until end of November 2020. Also, you'll hear a little bit more about how the youth in the hub this year will also be encouraged to become allies for the next cycle, and so that there is continued engagement in the hub in the coming years. These are some of our guiding principles, and you can read all of this if you're interested in some of these things, or maybe you want to find out more about what they mean. This is all in our concept note. I think Eliza might be able to put that in the comments bar so you have access directly to that. So this is more of the theoretical piece behind the why the focus is the Canada's Feminist International Assistance Policy. What we like about it is its feminist and integrated approach to development, which you can see here sees gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls in a manner that is both targeted and cross-cutting. So that gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. Oh, I think somebody unmuted themselves. Please mute yourself out loud. Thank you. Great. That will be one of our anchors for this year's program and in the next 3 years as well. Gender equality will be always top of mind for us and will be a cross-cutting theme in anything we do. So whether it is climate change that we're talking about or food insecurity, we will take a gender-based approach and a gender lens to the work that we're doing. Talked about that, and also a lot of the work that we do at OCIC is youth engagement. So we're going to be using the insights and the learnings that we've had in the past through our programs to co-create this new pilot program this year. Some of the anticipated activities that we're going to have are specifically for the youth, for the young people that get selected to this year's hub, is to partake in trainings and learning exchange opportunities. And that will be in a range of ways, some of which will be with our NGO members, like Results, for example, that works in that space, or in learning exchange with the allies that get involved with the hub, and specific trainings throughout the year as well, related to policymaking and advocacy processes. It is, of course, a space where the young people will be able to connect with a network, not just at OCIC, but beyond that as well. And that will happen mostly online in webinars, but also a couple of in-person opportunities here in Toronto, and maybe pending what the hub decides in different cities across Ontario. We will take part in lead online sessions, and so part of this is that we recognize that 15 young people is not that many, and we wish we could engage as many as hundreds, but the way in which we're going to be able to do that hopefully is by getting the 15 young people that get selected to engage other youth in their communities. So hopefully the insights and the learnings that come, or some of the strategies that we come up with together, will be able to be shared later with other youth across Ontario and across Canada in many different ways. And then the exciting piece about this is that we're hoping that the people that engage here will use the learnings and put it into action. So we will have a number of travel subsidies available to attend a couple of subnational, national, or international meetings where we will be advocates. We will hopefully be influencing policy in different ways, and we'll be using what we learn to influence politicians at multiple different levels, and other community leaders as well. And of course, throughout the year, you will have full access to OCIC events, networking opportunities, etc. So this is our timeline for the hub, and we put a couple of key moments that we know are going to happen, or that we're going to be working towards together. So the first very important deadline, if you haven't applied yet, is November 6th. is our application deadline. So that's next week, Wednesday. So you have a couple of days still to apply. Hopefully this webinar will help you in making that decision, and some of the questions that you have about the process you can pose today. Then we're going to start our first hub meeting online in December, and those will be ongoing. So we're calculating an approximate of 10 hours every month that the youth selected will have to carve out, and that includes anything between meetings, online meetings or phone meetings, to trainings, and some of the work, individual work that we're going to have to be doing to prep for meetings with MPs, for example, or prep for activities that we're going to go through today. And as you can see at the top piece of the timeline, we're going to have an in-person gathering here in Toronto, where we're located, in January. And that's going to be both youth and the allies. We're going to have a couple of trainings then to get us all acquainted with each other, and get us started in our policy-making abilities and capacities. Then in February, our sector celebrates International Development Week on the first week of February. So we're going to be targeting some of our key moments during that time. And we're right now in the works to plan a day on the Hill in Ottawa, where hopefully some of the youth that get selected will be able to participate. In March, it'd be great if we can plan International Women's Day's activities. And between June and August, in the summer months, we recognize that we might get a bit of a low period, but we will be focusing on developing a policy-focused session, as we have carved out a specific time and session for our Global Citizens Forum that happens in November, so that the youth that get selected are able to share their learnings or share a specific strategy or whatever it is that we decide during the Global Citizens Forum, which is a big gathering that OCIC hosts with international and Canadian partners on a specific topic or issue that's important to the sector in the coming years. So after the Global Citizens Forum, all that remains is a hub debrief, make sure that we get some learnings out of this. And as I said before, maybe you didn't catch it, this is a pilot year. So this year will be determining really what the future of this hub will look like, what's working, what isn't, and how we can be working together in ways that resonate, in ways that are effective, engaging for the youth involved, and also for the allies. Great. Somebody else needs to mute themselves. Eliza, maybe you can monitor the people here who's not muted. Thanks. Thank you very much. Great. So perhaps some of you are still thinking about it, not sure where you fit in this program, if you're eligible, you know, who is it that we're looking for? So I thought I'd share with you some of the requirements and pieces that we'd like to see from those who apply. And for that, I feel that I've been talking a lot. I wanted to do a poll, but let me see if I can figure it out. Give me a second, guys. Yes, okay. So let's get you participating. All right, so our question is, which of the Sustainable Development Goals or Agenda 2030 pillars align with your interests or advocacy the most? And we've divided it in the 5 pillars: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnerships. So I'll give you a couple of seconds. Great. Great, yeah, please participate. Give you 30 more seconds. I know this is a hard choice. There are a lot of them bundled together. Great, okay. And I'm gonna share with you. So it seems like the bulk of you align with the people pillar, which is goal 1, no poverty, goal 2, zero hunger, goal 3, good health and well-being, goal 4, quality education, and goal 6, clean water and sanitation. And the next one is prosperity. So that includes gender equality, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, and sustainable cities and communities. Very interesting, great. This is great to see. So the reason why I wanted to put that poll out there is because all of you have something that you're passionate about, something that you bring to the table or that you're already working on, and that's exactly who we want. We're not necessarily targeting experts in policymaking and advocacy or those that have been involved for years necessarily. We really, what we want to see is a diversity of perspectives at the table, perspectives that have been historically underrepresented in these spaces of policymaking, of advocacy processes, and to build our capacity to better be involved and be meaningfully involved. So once you get to the table, see that you are supported, see that you are confident in your ability to share the issues that are important to your community. But there are particular requirements that we're looking for, and those are those on the screen. You need to be between 18 and 35 years of age inclusive as of December, and we are looking for people that reside in Ontario. You have to be living here. You do not have to be living in the GTA and Toronto only. We are hoping to get some applications from outside the GTA. So if you live in Sudbury and Thunder Bay, please apply in Peterborough and Sarnia. It'd be great to see a diversity of perspectives here in the hub. You also need to commit to participating in this 12-month program and a commitment to join the next cycle as an ally from 2020 to 2021. And you'll hear a little bit more about what that actually means. And also a commitment to participate in monthly meetings and learning activities, mostly online, but also in person in Toronto. So like the January gathering, for example, which will amount to approximately 10 hours per month. With some months probably being a little bit more intense, like February, pending what the hub decides. So all in all, we're looking for youth who are experienced, but mostly interested in public, community, or youth engagement, in education, in advocacy, specifically regarding global, social, and environmental issues. People and youth that are already organizing and leading their communities, and or if you're not, that you have a strong interest, demonstrated interest in developing these capacities, and a commitment to learning about and actively participate in policymaking processes. So if you've been on the questionnaire in the application form, you'll see that we ask you, what's your lived experience? How have you been engaging in these pieces already? Is it that you're very involved in your community? Are you already organizing a youth group? Perhaps have you been very involved in climate change campaigns in your community? How is it that you've already been doing the work or reading about the work, learning about the work? And why are you interested in policymaking now? Why this? Why now? Now, for the allies, this is the other face of the hub. And I see a lot of you here. I recognize a lot of names, global change makers in the past, that you are exactly who we want to see become an ally for this program. We know that a lot of youth are already very much involved. You're already leading your communities in this space. And so we'd love to engage you in the hub as an ally. And we know that those people are usually very busy and have many things on the go. So the ally commitment is a little bit less. So we estimate that approximately it'll be 1 to 2 hours per month. And really, you will be helping to guide the development of the hub, sharing your expertise and experience regarding the work that you do in youth-led spaces, youth-focused engagement, in policy making and advocacy, with the youth that are involved, but also the other allies in the space. So it's a great way to meet those in international cooperation working in the policy and advocacy space. And also we'll invite you to participate in many of the pieces that the hub will be engaging in, like MP meetings or whatever it might be, pending your capacity. So again, a call out to those of you that, you know, already have the expertise, already have the skill set, have been involved in the space for a while or in different ways. Perhaps the best piece or how you can be involved here is to become an ally. We are looking for people in various stages of their career as well. So from young professionals to mid-career people to senior level folks, you're all welcome to apply. And if you're still hesitant, feel free to email me and we can have a chat. Great. So I'm going to stop talking. I want to hear what you have to say, if I forgot something, if there's still something on your mind. And we're going to try to do this in an organized way. You can unmute yourself if you have particular questions and or write your question in the comments and I'll monitor that. Give me a second while I stop the share. Okay, any questions? I see a question from Lucia. Out of the pool of applicants, how many are you looking to recruit? So for the youth component, we're looking to recruit up to 15 youth this year. A question from Alex, are there specific policies that you are looking to develop through the hub? That will really depend, Alex, on the expertise or the interest that we get from the youth involved. So we've tried to strike a balance between being directive and what we need to do, what we have to do. So what you heard at the beginning, the gender equality angle, for example, the climate angle will be quite strong in what we'd like to see and hear. But again, if that's not resonating with the 15 youth that will be selected, then it's not up to us to say. This really is a youth-led hub. So we're going to wait to see what are the interests from those involved. I hope that answers your question. Anyone else, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question or go directly to the comments. And again, my colleague Liza put some of the links up in the chat box. So you can read everything that I said today is on our concept notes, the theoretical piece, as well as the approach, the very practical approach that we're going to take. It's both on our website and the concept note. A question from Hannah, how will student responsibilities be divided according to personal policy interests or preferred focus areas? I wonder, Hannah, if you can actually unmute yourself and give me more information about what you're thinking. What do you mean by student responsibilities?
So I just noticed on the application that one of the questions was asking what your main interests are in terms of the main sustainable development goals, sort of like the poll that we just answered. So I was wondering if our answer to that is in any way going to inform how you kind of like the types of either responsibilities that you allocate to us or the types of opportunities you provide us, if they'll be tailored in some way to our specific policy interests or the area of development that we're interested in focusing on.
I see it. Thank you for that, Hannah. That's an excellent question. So no, really don't feel the pressure that whatever you say now is what you might be stuck with if you are selected to participate in the hub. Really, the purpose of that question is to see the diversity of perspectives or interests in the youth that apply. And it's a good way, you know, for us to list out the types of social and environmental issues that we'd like to be focusing on. But no, you won't be stuck with those. It will be very collective based decision making that we're gonna employ in the Youth Hub. And we're going to decide as a group what are some of the important thematics or issues that we're going to focus on, if that makes sense. Yeah, so but definitely we'll know that that is something that you bring with you as part of the learning exchange. Anam, I see what are some types of national, subnational meetings that participants may be able to take part in. So a couple that we've started to line up or understand how to do is, for example, meeting with your local government representatives, meeting with MPs. And so you're gonna get specific toolkits or capacity building pieces for that. Pending the interest of the hub or what's happening around the world during a given year, we're going to decide collectively if, for example, there's an international opportunity like the Commission for the Status of Women is something that people would like to participate in. But again, those subsidies, we're going to try to support the youth in the hub to attend those without much cost. Those will have to be decided collectively. I hope that answers that question. Will we be sharing the slides? Yes, these will be posted online, both the recording of the webinar and also the slides. Just feel free to check the website after this. Ruba, would you want past change makers to apply to the hub or allies? Oh, Ruba, either way, really, it's your decision in the end. You've been involved with the global change makers, so you know how we work. It really depends on your time as well that you're able to give, or the interest that you have. So it's really up to you. But I would say you're already quite experienced. So if the allies is something you're interested in, we'd love to have you. Joanna, are you interested in applicants who have had international experience, exposure, or primarily Canadian? I would say if you have had these opportunities already, Joanna, or anyone else that might have had, I think the best thing to apply for is to become an ally. We really are hoping to support people that have been underrepresented in these spaces. So if you've had these opportunities, it sounds like you can be more of a learning resource than a youth in the program. I hope that makes sense. Camila, is it mandatory to be a member of the OCIC? Oh, that's an excellent question. Thank you for reminding me. No, you do not have to be a member of OCIC, but if you are affiliated, or if you've ever volunteered or been a part of any of our OCIC member organizations, please do write it on the form. It'll be great to know. Linda, have any of the other councils, whether it be the provinces or national level, working in international cooperation, have similar program running, or would there be an opportunity for cross-jurisdiction collaborations? Excellent question. Thanks, Linda. Some of the provincial councils do have similar opportunities, not the same. Each council has very different programming. But for example, the BC Council is always sending youth to COP, for example, or international summits. So that's something that if you live in BC or you have friends there, you might want to point them towards that. And yes, we are hoping to engage across the province when it comes to the learning exchange, for example. We're hoping that this program can help in that. And not just through the ICN and CCIC, but also with other organizations that might be of interest to the Hub. Maham, if meeting times conflict with work timings, will there be an opportunity to contribute remotely? Yes, and I will say the reason why we haven't pinpointed exactly when we're meeting is because we're gonna be doodling that together. We're gonna be quite flexible in when and how we meet. And given that we're hoping we get applications from across Ontario, most of the meetings we expect will be online. So we're obviously not going to expect someone that lives in Sudbury to fly into Toronto every month to meet with us. It will be very much in this online space. And we will be taking into consideration that people have lives and that you probably are very busy people. Hannah, are you allowed to apply to be both an ally and a youth policymaker? And if accepted, would you automatically be assigned to the one that you are deemed more fit for? Yeah, so we had a discussion about that, Hannah, and just to be completely transparent, if we see applications for the Youth Policymakers Hub that make more sense as an ally, we will be inviting some to be allies instead, or to engage in that way. So if you feel like you're not too sure, we're gonna be considering that either way. Anyone else? Thank you all for those questions. These are great. I hope this is helping you really make a decision. Or if you have people in your network that you feel would be great for either one of these, for allies or to be involved as a youth, I hope that you share far and wide. Anyone else, feel free to unmute yourself if you have comments, if you have feedback. So again, I want to reiterate really that this is our pilot year. It's a new program for OCIC. So this, the youth and the allies in this first year's hub will help to determine if this is resonating, how we can work together. So if you're interested in that piece as well of really co-creating this program with us, I will encourage you to please apply as an ally. We're always very interested in hearing other people's perspectives and how you might be working already in this space. And if you might not have time to be an ally, just email me and we can have a chat. We're happy to get feedback from all of you. Anyone else? Okay, great. I don't see any more questions in the chat. And if nobody else has any more questions, I think we'll leave it there. You can have a bit of time for your lunch to go eat. And feel free to email me for any particular questions. You still have until November 6th to apply to become either a youth policymaker or an ally. I'm very happy to have a chat with you on the phone and share far and wide. Once again, my email, I'm gonna write it in the chat so that you have it. And this will be posted along with the slides on our website after this. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day.